and she
Oh
threw him
God.
and the other person that was in the room with him out of the hotel room last night. So, so I ended up Venmoing him money to fly home, and
Jeez.
so yeah, it's been an interesting day.
Sounds like
He's a
it.
good, he's a good friend, so I'm glad to help him. But it just I thought, man, that would be a great time to be in Washington, when all the conservatives are crying in their beer. And
Oh
I
yeah.
saw this. I don't know whether it was real or not. I've seen both that it's fake and both that it was up for a few minutes and then taken down off of the Truth Social thing.
Right.
But Trump said something like, I got rid of all the illegal immigrants and this is how you people treat me. Fuck you. I don't know whether that really happened, but,
It's
but
funny either way.
huh?
It's funny either way.
It is.
It is.
It
It
is.
is funny either way.
I heard that it was fake, but I also heard that it really was up there for a few minutes and then they immediately took it down, which that's believable, man. The dude is like decomposing in place. So, but
Yeah.
you got Truth Social. You could see whether it's up. Well, I guess you couldn't see it if it's been taken down. But
Yeah, that's true.
I have a True Social account. Real Alex Jones cocksucker.
I have one too.
That's why I have. That's why I have that. I have that account.
Know thy enemy. Yes. Well,
Because no, the enemy of my enemy is my friend. That never works. That never works.
I haven't sunk that low yet to get a Truth Social account, but God knows I don't need any more fucking apps on my.
I think
Oh
it's
my
been so
gosh.
stupid, but X is almost more depressing than Truth Social because Truth Social it's all an echo, but X you get all of them piling onto liberal posts and putting all that shit in there, and it's like you just like,
True Social is really a disastrous place to.
It's literally an echo chamber.
Yeah, I mean,
echo chamber of echo chambers.
I never used Twitter either, or X or whatever they're calling it now.
I used it until it was X.
Oh, Twitter was on fire today.
Oh, really?
Yeah, oh yeah. Twitter was really. Here's what happened on Twitter. Here's what the fuck happened on Twitter. Like all of the people on Twitter were like, "It's a socialist takeover." All of the Mom Donnie winning and the Virginia governor. It's a socialist takeover. Laura Loomer called for the killing of Democrats.
She wasn't the only one either.
She's a moron. I'm not even sure she has opposable thumbs.
Probably not. Hi, Cynthia.
Hi, Cynthia.
I don't know if we can hear you. We can't see you, Cynthia.
We can't see you.
But that's okay. I'm used to black boxes. I talk to one every night.
Really?
Hey, sugar bunny. Here, come here. Get your butt out of the camera. Oh,
so here's the deal. Lisa, did you read the Stephen Miller thing?
Yes, I did. Actually, shared it in there.
Okay. Can you explain that to me? Because I read that and it feels like it's a threat.
It feels like a threat to me too, because he pretty much said that half of New York City families have at least one immigrant in them, and they have children, and that they can take care of them. And it's like, what exactly are you implying, sir? It's like, what the hell? You're implying that we're going to send ICE in there to kick every immigrant we can in New York City out for New York City daring to vote Mom Donnie into office, is what it really sounded like. It's posted on the heels of the election, and it was just really. Let's see if I can Google it so I can quote it correctly.
Yeah, I mean, the way that I read it, Stephen Miller was threatening anybody that was an immigrant living in
New York City.
Yeah, in fucking New York City.
The actual quote.
These the same people that are saying that grocery stores are forbidden to offer discounts to people who are in difficulties because of the SNAP situation. It's like I thought the Republican Party was the great deregulator of business. Now they want to tell the fucking grocery store how to run their business. I mean,
Right.
it rules for me and not for thee, or thee and not for me.
Yeah.
No.
Do as I say, not as I do.
Yes.
Or, as they say in churches, thou shalt not use thy rod on thy staff.
Oh, jeez.
I don't know where you came up with that one, but
All right, so here's the way I read the New Republic article. So after Mamdani's win in New York City
Right.
as the first Muslim mayor, Miller posted a wordless but menacing screenshot on social media. The image, pulled from nyc.gov, highlighted immigration statistics. Nearly 50% of New Yorkers live with at least one immigrant family member, and 62% of the city's children have foreign-born relatives. So that characterizes Miller's post as a threat, implying of potential deportation crackdowns to happen in New York City because of the number of immigrants that live in New York City. That's the way I read it.
I read it as, if you guys were dumb enough to elect him, we're going to make sure you regret it, is how I read it. But
Okay.
maybe I'm just, kind of alarmist.
I don't think you're an alarmist. I mean,
See, I had a good friend who lived in New York City for a while. In fact, she said one day she's gonna have to take me back to Chinatown with a real Chinese person who's been in Chinatown in New York, because she can give me a much better experience.
right.
And so I have a very deep attachment to immigrants. And I spend a lot of time worrying about what might happen to her and her kids. Not because she's ever done anything wrong. She should not be eligible for deportation, but they don't seem to care about that. So
Right.
that just makes it worse.
Right. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. So, all right. Well, so here's the thing you want to hear.
Yay. I like hearing good things.
Here's the thing you want to hear.
Yeah.
So I sat through and read through the SCOTUS arguments over the tariffs. That happened today.
Right.
So the way it looks is SCOTUS is going to take the tariff power away from Donald.
Yay.
So the three Democrat judges are most certainly going to say no. And the way that John Roberts and the way that Coney Barrett were talking, they're going to side with taking the tariff power away too, because traditionally spending money is a congressional power and not an executive branch power.
Right. They just execute the law as it's written. They don't get to make their own laws on top of it.
Yeah, that's right. So Barrett wondered early on whether or not any other place in the law or any other time in history where a phrase key to Trump's position gives him the ability to regulate importation, which could be conferred as tariff imposing authority, and he doesn't have that. And here's the other thing.
Couldn't happen to a nicer president.
Right. Roberts noted that the emergency statute at the case's core has never been used to justify tariffs, ever. It has never been used to justify tariffs at any time. So with Barrett and Roberts making those assumptions, that makes the likelihood that it's going to be a 5-4 lean or a 5-3 lean, 5-4 lean means he's going to get tariff power taken away by SCOTUS. Now, The other thing that's happening on top of this precipice is the appellate courts demand that he fund SNAP, which he says he's going to deny, and he's not going to do it. Yeah, he's not going to do it. So we're already in that problem.
I think they're slow walking it because Lovett today said, "Oh no, we're following the law. It's going to take us a while because we have to contact the USDA. We have to figure out how we're going to do this, and then we have to notify the states with the USDA. This could take us a very long time." So they slow walk it and pretend they're following the court's law rules while they aren't.
So here's the other deal. Here's the other deal. Let me get my notes up here. Okay, hold on. I'm gonna try to add. Cynthia, I keep trying to add you, and you keep dropping off. That might be the last time I'm gonna try. So Neil Gorsuch was looking for a place to draw the line. So he says, "You say we shouldn't be concerned because this is foreign affairs, and the president has inherent authority, and so delegation is off the books, more or less. What would prohibit Congress from just abdicating all responsibility to regulate foreign commerce, which is a power they have, to declare war, and even for that matter, to declare war? Why would they cede that to the president? We don't contend that he could do that," is what the Solicitor General said. And Gorsuch said, "Why not? Because it sounds like that's what you're asking." So Gorsuch and Barrett and Roberts are showing signs of going against taking Trump's tariff power away, which I would be really happy if they did. So now, the major questions doctrine. So a legal theory that the Supreme Court has cited when striking down major Democratic initiatives could probably be the thing that would kill this. And that's several justices raised the major questions doctrine, which holds that presidents may not enact initiatives with sweeping economic or political implications where Congress's own intentions in that arena are vague. That's a problem for Trump. The Supreme Court's conservative majority has cemented the major questions doctrine in a series of recent cases where it's literally said, no, sweeping economic initiatives are not something the president has the right to just do. The tariff challenge is to now use it against Trump. He relies on the International Emergency Economic Powers Act to justify the levies and tariffs that he imposes. But the law does not explicitly use the word tariffs. And when you're talking about the law, if it doesn't exactly say what you're exactly supposed to do or not to do, that's usually a sign that you're going to get kicked out. Instead, it says the president can regulate importation in response to certain national emergencies. And he has to qualify those national emergencies to Congress. He can't just say, there's a national emergency, we have to do this, it's going to happen. Several of the court's conservatives appeared to invoke the doctrine of major questions, which in all likelihood means they're going to rule against him. Roberts noted that Trump uses the emergency powers to justify his tariffs on any product from any country in any amount for any length of time. And he even said this, and this is pretty powerful. You dismiss the applicability of the major questions doctrine, and I want you to explain to me, I want you to explain why that is more. I mean, it seems like it might be directly applicable, which is what it is. Now, Sotomayor brought up the major questions doctrine early in the discussions when she first questioned Trump's tariffs, squared with the court's ruling against Biden. So that means that the Democrat judges are leaning right into it, and they're this is a thing. So here's where we run into a problem with IEPA. IEPA only provides the president with the emergency powers to respond to what the president would deem an unusual or an extraordinary threat outside of the country. So Trump has cited that his emergencies are fentanyl and trade deficits. They're not trade deficits. He doesn't understand trade doctrine.
No, he doesn't.
So what he calls it a trade deficit is not. And just because he calls it that doesn't mean that he gets to invoke the IEEPA in response to what he deems that emergency. And so it has led justices today to fire off hypotheticals of purported emergencies the president might cite down the road if they accept Trump's view, which I think they don't. And so Kagan said, we've had cases recently which deal with the president's emergency powers. And it turns out, and as it turns out, we are in emergencies, everything, all the time, about like half the world. So Kagan's even saying everything that Trump is doing is an emergency, and that's why he has the right to invoke whatever it is the fuck that he wants to invoke to make that happen, which is bullshit. Gorsuch, even further still, asked if a future president could impose a 50% tariff on gas-powered cars to deal with the threat of climate change. And here's the thing. The Solicitor General, Trump's Solicitor General, who is arguing Trump's power to initiate tariffs, he literally says to the Supreme Court, well, yes, a future president could impose tariffs on gas-powered cars to stop climate change.
Yep.
This is the catch-22. You can't have it both ways.
Exactly.
You can't have it both ways. Yeah, Cynthia, you're completely right. It's just overly broad. So it's a one-way ratchet. I think throughout the argument was a concern among several justices, summed up when Gorsuch said Congress, as a practical matter, can't get this power back once it's handed over to the president. So it's one of those things where if they give it to the president, there's no way that they get it back. And so he then further said, if Congress said, whoa, we don't like that, that gives a president too much authority over the IEEPA. They can't do it. So it's a one-way ratchet. If SCOTUS allows Trump to do whatever tariffs he wants, and Congress agrees to it, then Congress can't later say, whoa, you can't have that power anymore. It doesn't work that way. We're going down a one-way funnel. It doesn't go the other way. And so Sauer, the Solicitor General, said, a hard time certainly, which would be true of any case where this court definitely interprets the statute, would be wrong. So Sauer basically told SCOTUS, if you don't side with Trump, you're wrong.
That's what Trump says to everybody.
So Neil Katyal, who is representing the small businesses that are challenging Trump over the tariffs, literally says, we will never get this power back if the government wins this case. What president would veto legislation to rein in the power that the own president has once he gets it?
Mm-hmm.
So that's where we are. Yeah, Cynthia, you're completely right. Like nobody in their right mind. No president would say, "Oh, I have too much power. I'm going to give some of it back." Oh, I have too much power. That's my dick is too big. It needs to go back to being smaller. Well, so here's the thing. Yeah, Cynthia, you raise an interesting point. Jen, I think it's possible. I think it's possible that we have reached a point now where SCOTUS has to rebalance power. Because if SCOTUS does not rebalance power and Trump continues to use the power he has, it's going to get much worse than it is. And let's be fair, from SCOTUS's perspective, they see the outside situation and what's happening outside the situation. They don't have a sanitized view. They see everything that we're seeing. Which, because they're interpreting the law and what the law says, when we're talking about a gray area, oh yeah, what they see and how it's affecting the situation can indeed actually affect the nature of the situation. And they can say, okay, this is too much power. President, you have too much power. Can't do this. So the next number of days that it takes SCOTUS to argue over this, that's going to be crucial. And I'm going to just say this, do they care? Yeah, I think they probably do. I think they care. Here's the thing. I think they have to care at this point. Things have gotten so bad that from a polling rating question, right now, the only person that Trump is competing with for a lower presidential rating is Nixon. Nixon is the only person that Trump is competing with. And Nixon's rating in October of 73, before he got impeached, was 29. Trump's rating is down to 32.
Do we think he's going to get to 29?
Yeah, he gets to 29.
Get to
That's it. Yeah, but that's it. Jen, you're completely right. This basically makes Congress useless and void, which creates an imbalance in checks and balances. It voids any congressional power. It does any number of things to the situation. And Trump says, I have this power. He doesn't. He really just doesn't. So now, do we want to talk about Margie?
Mm. Sure.
Because I love talking about Margie. I love talking about Margie because she's from my state. Margie said on broadcast television in front of everybody that she no longer believes in QAnon.
What the heck?
Yes.
It's taken her long enough.
During her appearance on The View,
Oh God, she was
Sonny
on The View.
Hostin asked her if she still believed in QAnon, and Margie said, "Oh, I went over that a long time ago." And Hostin said, "Oh, so you've changed?" And Margie said, "Well, no, I haven't changed. I was a victim of the QAnon conspiracy." Sarah, I knew you were going to make that face. I knew you were going to make that face. Yeah,
It
I
should
knew
never surprise me that Republicans are always claiming the victim.
So Margie was just a victim of the QAnon conspiracy. So Jewish space lasers, peach tree dishes, gazpacho police. It was all bullshit. She was a victim of misinformation that she believed, but that still makes her a victim.
It never occurred to her to actually like check facts on any of it.
Fact checking? Are you kidding?
These people are so. Sometimes I thought, I will be honest, sometimes I think a lot of their quote unquote belief is actually nothing more than trying to drum up voters. They sit there and say whatever it takes to get the craziest people on board, and then they, it's just. There's no honor among these people at all. No ethics. It's horrible.
I mean, I kind of feel like that about politicians in general.
Yeah. Sadly.
But
some of them seem a little bit better. I mean, my goodness, look at like Josh Hawley. He's horrifying. Ugh.
I love that ticker, Wendy.
I don't like from Hawley's deal. Like, I don't like the shit that he says.
Right.
I really don't. But, and Hawley is a dumbass. But here's the thing: he has moments where gravity brings him in, and it's like, okay, maybe you're going to be cool now.
Yeah, I hate that.
And then he does something, and he goes back out of fucking orbit.
Which has moments of clarity.
Yeah. Well, Sarah, everybody has moments of clarity.
I think in a weird way, actually, I think he's trying to figure out a line where he sometimes stands up to Trump, but doesn't look like he's standing up to him because he doesn't want to get, primaried by somebody.
He doesn't want to get canceled.
Right. He doesn't want to get thrown out of the GOP, so he comes back into where he should be, quote unquote.
He needs to pick a fucking side.
Yeah, right. You need to pick a winning team, or otherwise. Why the fuck?
Just pick a team.
Yeah, right. You pick a team. Look, if you're gay, just come out, okay? It's
I'm
like
gay.
I don't know. I mean, it's like you thought you were gay for 2 years and didn't realize that you were gay for 2 years. And then suddenly you realized you were gay while you were questioning the fact that you were gay for 2 years. I mean, that's gotta suck, right?
I knew I was gay. I just knew I was not supposed to be for the longest time, quote unquote. Knew I wasn't supposed to be.
That's bullshit.
Well, I know that now.
Some people don't.
I feel targeted.
I don't know why.
Honey, did Wendy say your name? No, she did not.
No, you just kind of like described my entire situation.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Uh-huh.
I have what? Did
What?
I say something? I didn't.
Mm.
So Margie was a victim.
Poor Margie. Just bless her little pea picking heart.
Yeah. So now Jamie Raskin has come out and said he believes that Supreme Court justices are going to put the brakes on Trump. During the oral arguments, Raskin was there and watched the proceedings happen while SCOTUS was hearing these arguments. And Raskin's opinion was that basically, yes, what we are watching is SCOTUS getting ready to put the kibitz on Trump and his tariff bullshit.
The kibbutz or the kibosh?
Kibosh.
This is a kibitz? Who's kibitzing with?
I think you're looking for another word there. I don't know how I know Yiddish the way I do, but
I know I'm supposed to know Yiddish better than you. I'm supposed to know Yiddish better than you.
okay. Well, maybe
I just pick up words. I don't know what they are. Ooh, I gotta be careful. I'm gonna flip this thing over.
Don't listen to me, right? No, Rouser, don't agree with Sarah. That's bullshit.
Oh, what about just MTG?
Oh no, I'm giving her shit.
Okay, I was gonna say.
I'm not one to be agreed with, I guess.
Apparently not.
That's okay.
I feel like you should actually maybe take note of that for later.
That I shouldn't be agreed with?
Yeah, say, wait a second, what is this Sarah should not be agreed with thing?
I mean, I'm full of bad ideas, so.
No, you're
really
full
give me
of
a bad
dangerous
idea.
ideas occasionally.
I'm a
about
bad
destruction,
influence.
but that's fine.
Why are you a bad influence? Look, okay, I had a conversation today where I wrote today's queer space story predicating on a situation that happened to somebody. And because I was pissed off about it, I actually wrote a story about it that when the person reads it, I don't know how they will not be able to see that the name Ron Capek is exactly the same as the person's real life name, and then call me out on it for being shitty. Because
I had nothing to do with that, but
Ron Capek is not a good person.
I'm aware.
I mean, there, I said it. Ron Capek is not a good person.
I've been saying that for a while.
I've been saying it for a while too. The problem is Lisa doesn't believe me.
It wasn't that as much as I was waiting to get better evidence. Wait and see what happens. Maybe, but yeah.
Lisa, do you want to know what tipped me off to them not being a good person? Their voice.
Really?
Yeah.
See, no, I disagree with that. It wasn't Ron
That's
Capek.
what tipped me off.
It wasn't Ron Capek's voice that was the problem. Not the sound of Ron Capek's voice, but more specifically, the amount of Ron Capek's voice.
All right, well that played into it too. But like when this person's voice grates on my nerves at a cellular level, to the point that I have to not watch. Yeah. There's something for me there's something that needs to be listened to.
But that was like, I had Ron Capek on a live a handful of times.
I know, and I had to leave every time.
Like every time he would come on a live,
I'd have to excuse myself.
Every time Ron Capek would come on a live, like half of the live would be Ron Capek talking. Ron Capek would not let people have their own opinion or even talk. I don't know how you did it, Lisa. I really don't.
I'm a rather tolerant, patient human being. Don't tell my kids
that. Does not make it better.
Because my kids will argue with that probably.
You have the patience of a saint.
Yeah, I don't. Alex, the defender, thank you very much. If you really loved us, you'd come in here and talk with us. That's why I keep posting the join link.
I only bite on Wednesdays.
Today's Wednesday.
You weren't supposed to say that part out loud.
What the fuck happens on Wednesday?
She says she only bites on Wednesdays.
You just said that?
Yes.
Yeah, you missed that.
Oh, it's not hard, Alex. If you click on the link, it'll ask you to go into the waiting room. You put in a name that you want to be called, and then you show up in here.
So Alex is the defender.
microphone
I have repeatedly goaded people on the fly to come into the live sessions. I did it to Lisa. I did it to Sarah. Everybody that comes in here consistently is somebody that I tricked into clicking the join link, and they came.
She tricked us into joining, and then now she can't get rid of us.
Something like
I don't want to get rid of you.
Yet. I mean, I could always, send the link to Minx, and if you want everything to devolve. We'll end up in the gutter real quick.
That's never a bad thing.
I mean, you want to go into the gutter? I can take us into the gutter.
It's surprising because usually Elaine's here for that, and she already got tired and left.
let me inform you of something. If it wasn't for the gutter, my mind would be homeless.
I feel like that's a very sad state of affairs.
What's been my entire life.
Okay. I feel like that's a very sad state. Like, if that's what you're saying, if that's what you're saying, then there's larger shit at work. Nikki's here. Hi, Nikki.
Hi, Nikki. Oh, Nikki, you're so.
No, don't.
It's Nikki usually, but it's easy to switch the end.
No, because I wrote today's story, and like I have all of the songs that were in today's story in my head, which includes, by the way, my favorite drinking song of all time, which is the Saw Doctors' "Never Mind the Strangers."
Mm-hmm.
If you listen to "Never Mind the Strangers," that song is the best song to drink to. Because it's all about people in a pub drinking and being friends.
Then I shouldn't listen to it.
Right. So somebody mentioned this. So I don't know if you got this, but yesterday a Pennsylvania town elected its first out as a trans woman mayor.
Yep.
I saw that.
Erica Doiso, yeah, which was fucking brilliant. So you know what, Alex? No, okay. If I do it, it'll be funny. If I do it, it'll be funny. Here you go. Can everybody hear that?
Mm-mm.
Oh.
It's all garbly.
Nobody can hear that. That sucks.
You know what you need to do?
We couldn't play into lives. Of course, we weren't using restreaming, but we could not play into lives with music yesterday.
You need to pull it up on YouTube and share your, do a screen share, and then we should all.
Okay, no, that's right. I keep forgetting I can do a screen share. I keep forgetting that I
don't use this platform, and I see the icon just sitting there looking at me like, oh, you should share something. No, I shouldn't.
You know what? Here, I'll do this. Yeah, because I really, yes, everybody should. Here you go. There. Now we're all okay. So here we go. Can you hear it now?
Yep. You can hear it now.
Takes two to get together. It takes time to make it last. Sure, we'll all end up in some ways like the drink in last night's glass. But we take this chance together. Let's not think about the end. Never mind the strangers, 'cause I'll always be your friend until the end. We've crossed the seas together, and we've had our ups and downs. We've gone further than we ever dreamed from our county Galway town. Well, if we're up on top tomorrow, or if it all just ends, never mind the strangers, 'cause I'll always be your friend until the end.
Okay, there we go. Everybody's heard it now. So now go get that song, find some random bar, play that song, start drinking, and then everybody will have a good time. I've been here in Atlanta. One of my favorite pubs is a pub called the Ship and Anchor, and it's over in Sandy Springs. If anybody lives in Atlanta, and it's owned by a Welsh guy, and they play shit like that in that pub every night. And I've had more than my share of pints in that pub. I've had more than my share of pints in that pub for sure. So, anyway. Yeah, Alex, I agree. It's a good fucking time. It's a good fucking time for sure. So anyway, back to what we're talking about though. You need to have it out with Ron Cavick. I'm just saying. You don't want to, but
I just figured I'd just pretend he doesn't exist anymore. That's even more fun.
I don't know that you can. Can you do that? I mean, I don't. I would have a problem with that. I would.
There are only two kinds of people that hurt you. People that do it on purpose or because they care so little about you that they don't care about your feelings. And people who are just busy and forgot something, or the people who've done it accidentally will apologize. Everyone else, they aren't worth your trouble.
Okay, there's that whole take the high road.
Why bother chasing them to argue with them? Just
there's that whole take the high road thing. I'm not good at that.
It's not worth letting him live rent free in her head.
Yeah,
Exactly.
I've
Okay,
lived
of that
rent
point,
free in enough
yes,
people's
at that
heads.
point, at that point, I agree. And Cynthia's right. You can ghost. So Alex says, my sister had a great idea. She's like, if anyone brings up anyone she doesn't like, especially Trump, she literally goes, "Who is that?"
Never heard of them.
Oh, is that somebody I'm supposed to know?
Never heard of them.
Nikki, I shouldn't be allowed to drink at all ever, and I still do it because when I get very intoxicated, a 6'6", 260-pound drunk trans woman is not a good experience.
All I can say is when I come visit, please don't get drunk.
Oh, it's happening.
Please don't.
Oh, that's right. People don't know. Sarah is coming to visit us.
Yay!
So here's the deal. Aubrey, the person behind this monitor, repeatedly accuses me of not taking her into queer spaces.
Oh boy.
So to remedy this fact, when Sarah shows up at my house on the 13th of December, on the 14th of December, we are going to the largest and most wild lesbian bar in Atlanta, and we're going to have a good time.
On a Sunday.
14th was my dad's birthday. I'll be able to remember that you're partying that day.
Oh no, I'm gonna take pictures. But see, here's the thing. Here's what's gonna happen. So Aubrey repeatedly says that when she and I go into public spaces, I'm the one that gets hit on all the time. And I'm like, no, we're going to go over to my sister's room. And my sister's room is a very well-known lesbian, sapphic, queer bar in Atlanta. And we're going to go in there, and Sarah and Aubrey, my partner, are going to get hit on repeatedly, and I'm going to be the one that gets asked to leave. I guarantee you.
Why are you going to get asked to leave?
Oh, because I will get asked to leave. Because if I walk into that bar with two hot chicks on either side, all the people that want to vulture those chicks are going to demand that I leave. Because masked chicks and butches that go into that place, oh yeah. Sarah might disappear for a day and we might not see her.
Don't let me disappear. Please don't let me disappear.
Sarah might disappear and then Aubrey and I will go home and it'll be like, what happened to Sarah? I'm not sure. I don't know. Maybe she went.
Send out the search party.
Maybe she went home with somebody.
She does not want to be like wandering off and get lost with somebody.
Oh no, I totally want her to wander off and get lost with somebody.
Oh my God.
And then end up back at our house like the next morning. Holy shit.
You would think she would at least tell you if she was going off voluntarily and it was safe.
Oh no, it never works out that way with me.
All right, here's the thing.
Oh, okay.
I don't
I'm not
drink.
going to a bar with you then.
Well, I've said this about Brandon. There's a queer story here. One night, this was like 2 years ago, a bunch of trans girls that I was social with at the time. No, this was 3 years ago. A bunch of trans girls I was social with at the time, 2 gay guys and 4 lesbians all went out to Felix's. Felix, Onyx knows. Hey, Onyx, do you feel like you can come in here because this is a story you want to react to? So we go to Felix's, and it's like board game night or some shit. I don't remember, but Shay and my friend Cammie and myself and I want to remember who else was with us. I think maybe Nala was with us that night. Or anyway, so I got sat in front of a Ticket to Ride table with a bunch of like 2 gay guys and a butch lesbian and a trans girl, and we were playing Ticket to Ride. Well, I lost track. So here's what happened. Like Felix's is like it was walking distance to my apartment. So I could walk over to Felix's easily. Well, I got really fucking drunk. Like really drunk. And so like drunk enough that I could not drive. Not that I had driven home, but I couldn't drive home if I had. So I staggered my way. Shay and I staggered our way with Kenny back to my apartment. We got there. I sobered up around 3 o'clock. And our friend, Kelly, what happened to Kelly? And I was like, I thought she was with us when we went out, when we walked home. No, Kelly was not with us. And so I went, oh shit, what do we do? And so our other friend, who was a British girl, who I will call Laura. Again, that's not this person's name, Laura. Brit Laura. She was known as in the time, and so I called Laura up and I was like, "Do you know what happened to Kelly?" "Oh yeah, she went home with a guy." And I went, "When the fuck did that happen?" And Laura was like, "I have no idea. It at some point in the night, and I was way too high and way too drunk to care." And so I said, "Shit, okay, well, fuck." Now, at the time, Cynthia, you can call me a bad wing woman. You can call me a bad wing woman, and I totally get it. But so Britt Laura had no idea where Kelly was. And Cammie didn't know where Kelly was. And so then my two gay friends, I called them up and I'm like, "Do you know what happened to Kelly?" "Oh, yeah, we know what happened to Kelly." "Where is she?" So at the time, I was living in Ansley Forest, which Ansley Park is one of the gayest neighborhoods in Atlanta. And so here comes Onyx. All right, cool.
Hello, y'all.
So you know what I'm talking about, right?
Go ahead. I missed a bit of it.
Okay, right. So we went out to Felix's one night. It was a whole crew of us. It was board game night.
Okay.
And there were like 6 trans girls, my friend Cammie, my friend Shay, British Laura. I'm pretty sure you might know who that is.
Yeah.
And Kelly, and like 2 of my gay friends and 2 lesbians. And so we all got really, really fucking drunk, and we were all really having a really good time. And Kelly disappeared. And so, drunk and very high, I got back to my apartment, which was Ansley Forest. It's right across the street from Ansley Mall.
Right.
With Shay and Cammie. And that's when I asked Shay, "What happened to Kelly?" "I have no idea." So I called up my gay friend Brad, and I was like, "Brad, what happened to Kelly? Do you know what happened to Kelly?" "Oh, yeah, Kelly went home with a guy." And I was like, okay, this is bad, because Kelly was a youngling. She'd only been transitioning for about 8 months, and she was young. And so I was like, "Oh, fuck, now I got to go find Kelly. What the hell?" By then it was like 5 o'clock in the morning, and I was starting to sober up. And so I was calling her, like I was ringing Kelly's phone constantly. And finally she answered, and I was like, "Kelly, where are you?" And she's like, "I'm in building 91F. And I went, "You're in my apartment complex. You're on the other side of my apartment complex. And you went home with somebody." And she said, "Oh, yes, I did." And I immediately said, "I'm going to walk over there, and I don't want to fucking know." And so I walked over there, knocked on the door, and Kelly walked out. Her wig was a little turned oddly, and I'm just going to say she had the distinct odor of Astroglide upon her.
Yeah.
I,
Astroglide. Yeah.
Oh God.
okay. Now, there's a reason why I know what Astroglide smells like, but so then I looked at Kelly and I said, "Kelly, I don't want to know. I don't want to know." And so we started walking back to my apartment, because Kelly had ended up in the same complex, just on the other side. And walking back, I got told some things that I did
That
not.
you didn't want to know.
I really, did not want to know. That involved the words thumb, knuckle, and wrist, which was way more information than I needed to know. Thumb, knuckle, and wrist. Which was way more than I needed to know. But that was the thing. Kelly was like, she was like 22 or 23. She was very young. She was very naive because she grew up in like rural West Georgia. So she did not understand certain concepts. And I literally looked at her and I said, okay, when you got to that moment, did you remember to breathe in and out very slowly? And she said, oh, yes, I did. And it was okay. And I went, I'm not going to be responsible for this person anymore. People are going to come after me for what's happened to this person. And I said, okay. And you're okay. And she said, yes, I was okay. Until the elbow happened. And then I went,
Elbow?
Elbow.
What?
Excuse me?
How?
So, Nikki, TMI is what this session is all about. I promise. It's Wednesday fucking night. It's Wednesday night. So, in the queer community, we have this lovely substance that is called VCR head cleaner, which is lovingly referred to as amyl nitrate.
Here we go. Popper.
Now, here's what happens. When you inhale amyl nitrate, which is the same stuff that they put into the head cleaner for your VCR machines, it causes a muscular reaction. And that muscular reaction is it causes smooth muscle to relax, which makes certain penetrative behaviors much easier to accomplish. Much easier to, of course, Nikki knows. So we got back to my apartment and I said, Kelly, do we need to go to the ER? And she was like, oh no. And I said, okay. And you're going to stay here for the night. You're not going to go home. You're not going to go back to Douglasville or whatever. You're just going to stay here. And she said, yes. And so I went upstairs, passed the fuck out, and then proceeded to wake up at like 9 or 10 o'clock. And my apartment at Ansley Forest was a 2-floor townhome deal. Walked downstairs where I expected to find Kelly on my couch asleep, was not there.
Oh no.
And so went looking for Kelly's car. Kelly's car was over in front of building 90C again. And I said, okay, I'm not responsible anymore. If somebody calls me and asks me about Kelly, I'm not going to answer the question. And sure enough, later that afternoon, Kelly's mom called me and asked me if I had heard from Kelly. And I lied like a motherfucker and said no. I got back to my house late last night. I woke up this morning and Kelly was gone. Whew.
I think the most amusing thing about that story is how delicately you tried to put all of that.
Sarah, dear, I'm the mother of my house. I'm a matronly person.
And yet you left the bar without one of your friends.
Exactly. Are you sure you're
I
all that
never
motherly?
do that.
Exactly.
I was very drunk. I was very high. You can't hold that against me.
It's never prevented me from keeping my group together.
Yeah.
I mean, look, you want to hear another really good story? Oh my God!
I've been bar crawling in the Navy and managed to keep all my group together. Jeez.
So here, I'll make you laugh. So back in December of last year, I went to a Christmas dinner at Crooks and Soldiers over in West Midtown, which the company I was working for at the time, it was right across the street from that restaurant. And so I was desperately trying to get into the security operations team because I was on the infrastructure development team or whatever. And I was tired of infrastructure development. I wanted to go back into info security. And so the info security team was doing their dinner or whatever. And so my friend Jordan went to that dinner also because he got invited. Because for whatever reason, Jordan would always get invited to those dinners. We're standing outside the restaurant. And Jordan says, "Hey, Wendy, do you want to have a really good time tonight?" And I said, "Oh, sure. I mean,
No.
why not?" And so Jordan says, "Here, take this." And I did not think about that. Clearly.
So you just took it.
Right. Because it was Jordan.
Mistakes were made.
I've said that recently.
It was. No. This is not. I took 4 gummies and they weren't working, so I took 2 more. That's not what happened. But this is what did happen. Was. So I took it. Turns out it was Molly.
Oh boy.
Yeah, it was a Molly experience. And so I was not having any adverse effects or whatever. And so I went into the restaurant and I drank a bottle and a half of Bordeaux.
Oh,
Which is like, yeah, the vendor was paying for the meal. So I ordered like 2 bottles of Bordeaux and I drank easily 2/3 of that. And that was like the $800 Bordeaux bottle or whatever. And so I got an Uber to come home because I was not in a
sober state.
right. And so I proceeded to go into the door, and Aubrey took one look at me and went, "Wendy, you're fucked up. You're really fucked up." And so I said, "I just want to go to bed." And so There's stairs in my house.
Oh no.
I had a very difficult time getting up the stairs. And
I can't imagine why.
And then
What?
I went into the bathroom and said, Aubrey, the bathroom has colors.
Oh gosh.
Why does the bathroom have colors? And that's when she walked in and said, what the fuck did you do? And I
That's a
said,
legitimate question.
That is.
and I literally said, we were standing outside the restaurant. And my friend Jordan said, here, take this. And I did. And she went, do you know what the fuck it was? No, I don't. Did you drink on top of it? Yes.
Oh jeez.
Yes. Yes, I did. That was maybe not wise of me to consider doing that, but I did it anyway. So, and I may have splashed a gin and tonic on top of that.
There we
Oh
go.
goodness. How'd you not get sick?
Oh, I have a cast iron stomach. Here's the deal. Okay. We've told the absinthe story, right?
Mhm.
Onyx has probably never heard the absinthe story. Okay. So Alex the Defender, if you want to hear the absinthe story, I will tell it. Because there are people that have not heard the absinthe story in this live session. Now, Onyx, are you familiar with what absinthe does?
Oh, yeah. Fairy. Yeah, of course. Of
Okay.
course.
All right. So we're waiting for Alex to say, yes, Wendy, I want to hear the story about the absinthe. And I will tell that story because it's really fucking funny. Like, it's hysterically funny. Come on, Alex. Hurry up. Say yes or no.
Hey, Alex. Oh, there. Yes.
Okay, all right. So Alex says yeah. All right. So here's the deal. Years ago, I came into the possession of 2 bottles of Buchrestian European absinthe. And so I got those bottles of absinthe into the U.S. So years ago on the 4th of July, there's a couple of stories that are intertwined here, by the way, Onyx, and you'll love them, all of them, I promise you. It's going to make you laugh. So my friend Ralph was going through a divorce. And the week of the July 4th, his wife was going to move out of the, oh, that's right. She's got her live. So, the week of July 4th, Ralph's wife was going to move out. So there was this big fucking party. And so my friend Ned called me up and said, hey, Wendy, I know you're going to be at this party. Will you bring the green fairy bottle with you? And I went, yeah, sure. Okay. And I cooked up like 2 crock pots of con carne chili. I had bought a case of Strongbow cider. That was back when, if you wanted Strongbow cider, you had to buy it in quart bottles by the case and get it shipped in. And so we're at this party. Now, Ralph is very depressed. And so Ralph starts with gin and tonics, goes to a glass of wine, goes to a lager, and then goes back to gin and tonics. And he's moving up and down the spectrum, up and down the spectrum. And so my friend Clark was there. Now, this is an aside story. so Onyx, don't judge me for this, but Clark, who was an FTM trans guy at the time, and Bubba, up to that point in my life, were the source of my urban culture understanding. And so we're all sitting out on the porch, kind of high, pretty drunk, and Ralph is sitting out there, and he's really, really drunk at this point. And to try to get Ralph to laugh, Clark looks at me and says, Wendy, do you know what the difference between a hoe and a hoochie mama is? And I said, no, Clark, I do not. They want you to tell me. And so Clark says, okay, it's like this. And so Clark says, by the way, Clark was the most like guy-like trans guy I had known at that point. And he says, so, right, you're walking down the street, right? And you see a hoe, right? And you walk up to the hoe and you say, hey, baby, what's up? The hoe turns around and says, $200, motherfucker, that's what's up. And then you decide, no, I'm not going to be part of that, so you keep walking. Now, you keep walking, and you get down the street, and you see a hoochie mama, and you walk up to the hoochie mama, and you say, hey, baby, what's up? The hoochie mama says, my goddamn rent, motherfucker, that's what's up. You gonna put rings on these fingers? Fuck off. And so Ralph starts laughing hysterically bad. And in like not a good way. So while that's happening, my friend Ned is like, did you bring the fairy with you? And I said, oh yeah, of course. I've got that in the kitchen. And he's like, can we do it? And I'm like, oh, yep, sure. Why not? I mean, what bad could happen? And so
famous last words.
Just what could come out of this? How bad could this be? I have no idea. So here's what happens. Pour the glass, stir in the caramelized sugar, and then we're all sitting at the kitchen table. And the four of us, Ned, myself, and Clark, and my other friend, Eric, we're taking sips and going around. We get about halfway through the highball glass. And in a moment where time bended and moved way too slowly, Ralph ran in, grabbed the highball glass, and downed all of it. And I went,
oh, no.
we're going to the hospital tonight.
Yeah.
And I'm way too fucking drunk for this. So, what do you do in that situation? You drag the person into the bathroom and you induce a certain reaction. Right? So, we have Ralph in the bathroom and we're trying to get him to Ralph so that he won't die. Because I'm pretty sure he was going to die. And that's when his soon-to-be ex-wife says, that won't work. And I said, why? And she said, because he's an emetophobiac. Do you know what emetophobia is?
No.
Emetophobia is the phobia of regurgitation. And the phobia is so bad that when you have it bad enough, you will actually mentally convince yourself you can't do it.
Oh.
You will actually create a mental block where you don't think you can do it. And so he's still like with us. And so this, nothing. You know, loud music, nothing. And I mean, I was like, look, okay, I went into the pantry, got the bag of Cheetos, grubbied my hands with Cheeto cheese, got him right under his nose, you know, or whatever. And it looked like it was good. No. So I was married at the time. And my ex and her 3 friends disappear.
Oh.
They come back with this small bottle of stuff that they bought at the drugstore, which is called Ipecac.
We go for dogs.
We all know what Ipecac does, right? I want to be clear to
That's
everyone in the
exactly
chat.
what it sounds like.
Yeah. I'm saying Ipecac, you know what that does. If you don't, I'll just say Ipecac is the thing you give to somebody that will induce uncontrollable vomiting. So, by the way, if you don't know what Ipecac is, I command you to immediately go out to YouTube and search for Family Guy Ipecac and watch whatever comes up, because that will explain to you what Ipecac does. Anyway, so they're giving him the Ipecac, and I'm reading the warning label, and the warning label literally says, do not give this to a person who is intoxicated, or, in so many words, they will Jimi Hendrix and die.
Oh.
They'll aspirate. They'll be laying down, and then they'll aspirate, and it'll kill them. And so I was like, how the fuck did we get here? So it was like 2 a.m. So Ned, myself, Eric, and Clark, for 5 hours, took turns holding his head over the throne, waiting. And sure enough, like 4 hours later, it happened. It happened.
It's that is good though. You know, you probably saved his life.
Yeah, I mean, right, completely. But later that morning, which actually turned to be about that afternoon, his ex, like, she had already, the moving truck was there and gone. So he didn't come out of that hangover until she literally moved out, and he woke up and he looked so shitty, and he literally was like, where's Michelle? And I was like, yeah, that's been and gone. Yep. She's gone.
That's horrible. I should not be laughing at that.
So Kat, yes, absinthe does indeed work.
Yes,
it does.
Yeah,
It produces a very mild hallucinatory effect. And here's the thing. There are guys in Budapest that use that for their morning jump start.
That is wow.
Yes. There are guys that start out their day that way. Yes. Sarah, the look on your face is priceless. Yeah,
I think I'm gonna be sick.
Kat, let's give Kat an education. Because Nikki, I'll explain that. If we get another person, I'll explain it. But the sugar, the carbonized sugar, creates a solution in the absinthe that allows your stomach to digest it. Just true fruit of the wormwood absinthe with no high dose of carbon will make you sick.
Yeah. No.
Yeah.
My dad always wanted to try that.
Yeah. Well,
Never
you know
got the
what,
chance.
you can find out.
I don't want to try it. He wanted to try it. He's dead.
Well, we can still try it when you get here.
I'd rather not.
Yeah.
I'll just fix you a drink and you won't know.
Remind me not to accept any drinks. I don't drink anymore. Don't make me break my promise to my daughter.
Oh, I won't do that. I care about your kid too much. I've talked to your kid. I wouldn't do that to you.
I'm not having another drink until her birthday.
You're not
When she
having
turns-
another drink until your birthday?
Till her birthday, when she turns 21, which will be in August.
You
But it's
gonna
been
go
like
to the tattoo parlor at the same time? Oh wait, does she
No.
have ink already? No.
No, we're supposed to go get some together, but we haven't
Okay.
decided on what.
Whew. Well, gosh, we've gone an hour and a half tonight. Yeah, see, Onyx, I like yours. Mine's like kind of cool or whatever, but I like yours.
I like that.
I've got designs for 4 more. I just don't have the money for it.
Yeah, well, I'll tell you, she hates that.
Really?
Yeah, and so
Just that little bit in particular. Why?
the bottom kanji is. Oh wait, are you a fluent Japanese person, Onyx?
No, I'm not.
Okay, so
Right.
the bottom kanji is Gizmo's real name, and then the top Japanese kanji is her real name. And so she screamed at me about having her name tattooed on my body. I don't give a shit. My happiness is more important than what people think. So, all right. Well, yeah, we're like well over the time. So, Onyx, Sarah, everybody else that was in the chat, Kat, thank you for coming by.
Thank y'all for having me.
Oh, always. It's
I'll
always.
again.
Onyx, I will tell you, I think tomorrow, if my meetings are permissible, I'm gonna catch up with you and Brandon Miranda, and we're going to do Trauma Live tomorrow at 1.
At 1? Okay. Yeah, that's cool.
If you're around, I'll make sure you're around. But 1 o'clock, like 1 or 2 o'clock tomorrow. Brandon has a thing at 3 local our time.
3
I can't
hours.
run over that, but if I can get it in before then we're going to do it.
Okay. All right. Sounds good.
All right, cool. Well, everybody, good night. Have fun.
Cool.
If you're not a member, become a member. I'll see everybody tomorrow.
Peace.